who's going to be doing a speech, Presentation Mastery, Level 3, Inspire Your Audience. His project purpose is to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. And here's his intro. Today's speaker is Arthur Stewart. Arthur is completing a Pathways Level 3 project called Inspire Your Audience. The purpose of the project is to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. If I'd read that ahead of time, I'd have known that. In tonight's speech, Arthur explores something many of us struggle with in life, the need to control everything around us. Using a simple idea about breathing, he shares a perspective on what we can change. When we stop trying to control everything and instead focus on what truly matters. Please join me in welcoming Arthur Stewart with this speech titled, You Can't Breathe In Without Breathing Out. You can't breathe in without breathing out. Arthur Stewart.
Fellow Toastmasters, I want you to take a deep breath in. Now hold it. Keep holding. Keep holding. Can you let it out? What happens if I told you you can't let it back out? That's not possible, right? Well, how many times do we hold on to things that control us? And it's the thing about it, when you breathe in and you breathe out, all of my life, I have lived, and I'm still learning this lesson. I've gotten a lot better. To not control it. Because what you breathe in and breathe out, things start happening. But I used to fixate on controlling things and outcomes. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. I gotta get it perfect. Or I can't do it. Well, here's the thing. That's not life. It doesn't happen. And some fun fact for you. If you have to have a definitive answer, yes, no, right, wrong, you are in a fight or flight response. I want you to think about that. If you're in a fight or flight response, can you actually make sound judgment? No, it's not possible. So that being the case, can you imagine me trying to control so much how much a fight or flight response I was doing? Yeah, it's quite the show. Now here's the thing. When you're in alignment, I've learned so much about alignment. Now let's call this door right here. This is the door. And if any of you know me, some of you don't, I am very stubborn or tenacious in however you want to coin it. And knowing that I had to have the correct answer, I will beat my head through it continuously to get through, to find a solution or what I'm trying to get. Well, there's this thing called there's a door. And if I'm in alignment, all of a sudden I can actually figure out how to open that door. You gotta remember, life doesn't always just give you the solution on how to open the door handle. But if you step back and open your mind to opportunities. Now, how many of you have had bad relationships or fixated on money or all that fun jazz? And you're like, I don't want to think about that anymore, but you just can't stop thinking about it. How about when you weren't looking for it, all of a sudden it just comes to you? Why is that? Part of actually, I believe it's alignment. Another thing is ripples. The ripple effect. What you breathe in and breathe out, and what you give your energy to. Now, let's go with trauma and stress, a bad thing that's happened over here, right? It's nasty. You don't want to think about it, you don't want to control it, right? You don't want to deal with it. I'm not even dealing with it. Guess what? It's still creeping there, it's high, and you're fixated on it. Now let's use anger. Everybody has anger, right? Sadness or anything else. Well, if you have an argument and you win that by anger, what do you think you're going to do when you have another argument in the same situation? You're going to feed it with anger again. Maybe it's not the right tool for it, but you're going to do it again. Now, let's go into those. You have anger, you have these traumas, you have bad exes, family, I can go on and on. Everybody can relate to something to that extent, right? Well, what happens if you're trying to still be in alignment to what you're trying to do with good things? Can you do that when you have all these different ripples? No. And that's the thing about it when I go back to breathing. When you breathe in and you breathe out. Because when I'm talking about when you fixate on it, you hold your breath, you hold it, you hold it, you hold it, you hold it. And you have all these other things coming. But when do you let that breath out? That's the thing. When do you let that breath out? So, when you are in alignment and you're able to breathe in and breathe out, what happens? And you don't let those things fixate. You focus on where you're going, your purpose, your tasks, your goals, what you're trying to do. You don't let those other things going. You don't let it have say. You don't have that reciprocity. Something sublime truly happens. You find alignment. You don't have the fear heightened. You don't have the anger. You don't have those contentment, resentments, and just agitation of all that past weighing you down. Mr. Toastmaster.